Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I've been going over your questions of the night, and I think a little yesterday. And how are you all today? It is a pleasure to see you all in those ways. I was looking at this one lady that's got to travel around Nepal, Mongolia. I've got clients in Mongolia. I've got clients all around India. I've got clients everywhere. And it was neat to see that you've been in all these places. It's great. I'm kind of burnt out with traveling now. Flights and stuff, and then eating habits, and it just disjoins you, you know. But I love to see the people of the world. It's just so cool. This one question was on sea salts, and you know, I'm not opposed, I guess, to Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, real salt, where you have a full-bodied salt. That's your traces and microtraces, and it's more of a grayish salt, has all your minerals in it. Yeah, a little bit of that. I mean, I just don't think that's going to be a big deal. I like chemistry in its most complete forms for your benefit, but I can't imagine a little bit of that hurting you. This is a comment from Mashton. A little reminder that you didn't rebuild the lady's spinal cord. Her body did, right? Yeah, sorry about the ego. You know, sometimes I just get carried away going on down the line, and even the littlest things you don't realize, you know. There's no question that the human body is the rebuilder of itself, but if you push past that and understand that it's just limited states of consciousness, but all tied to consciousness, that, yeah, I mean, all life is a supreme being and expression, and so, yeah, definitely your body is the genius here. We actually just give it the goodies and the energy to perform its magic, you know. So absolutely sorry about that. This other question was about some chemotherapy this person had a couple of years ago. Yeah, I mean, think about how disgusting chemo is and how barbaric that practice is and how criminal it is. Because if I gave one of you guys Drano, certainly you're going to die or you're going to come close to it. And I would be then charged for that. So Drano, I don't know what the pH of Drano is. Someone might find out for me, but it's got to be between battery acid and hydrochloric acid, to be honest with you. I think it's probably more aggressive than hydrochloric acid, which is a pH of around 2, 1.8 to 2. Most acids that damage cells are 3 pH. 3 pH, around the 3 pH you have soda pops. Someone mentioned about, so was that water full of lava, something about soda pops and stuff. I mean, oh my God, here's another crime. I mean, soda pop, you know, you got carbonic, phosphoric acids. These acids, they suck calcium right out of the human body. And it's like, oh my God. When I was young, I was addicted to Coke. Addicted is a good word. I was addicted to Pepsi, you know, and then Dr. Pepper was also very good. And boy, I tell you, I didn't know, you know, I mean, that you just come along in society, and it was like someone was talking here in one of your comments about opening a door, and I think this was a new subscriber. Someone came on, and I really appreciated your comments. But yeah, I mean, we live, that's creation. Creation is the mind, and you know, you open one door and in that world you play in, but all the other doors are closed because the mind can't be omnipresent. The mind can't be consciousness. It has to deal in states of consciousness. And so, yeah, I mean, this is one of the problems with creation in the sense of the drama, is that you're lost in your drama. And then when someone taps you on the back and says, hey, look over here, it's like, wow. So then you open to another drama. But to open up to the complete drama is to live in the now, as we've been talking about, and some of you are really getting that down good. And the practice of being in the now and stopping that mind, only sending your mind on a journey you want it to get. If you want your mind to go access some memory patterns from the past, or to go figure out something, have it report back to you. don't go with it, because then you lose yourself, and then doors start closing. And so, enjoy the door of natural healing, because it's a huge door. I always thought, what a beautiful door to have government slam on it. There was a comment here about the LA's finest rating a raw food place. I'll tell you what, I've got a good paralegal there, and there's a lot of good paralegals out there, better than most lawyers, to tell you the truth, because they're really, they go that extra mile in research and things. But I'll tell you this, I'd be suing the LA and California for deprivation of rights. I really would. I would be really give them one heck of a suit that's going to slap these guys on the wrist. And you might even be able to add a lot of different things to that. But deprivation of rights, constitutional rights, that way you can take this all the way to the Supreme Court. But definitely get into the deprivation of rights by states and by sheriff's departments and things like this, because this is a real powerful, and these guys need to be slapped on the hands. This sort of unconsciousness is what we're all about. Now think of Mandela, and he was in prison for 26 years in a little hole. What a soul. But here I kind of get off on things a little bit here, but keep opening your doors, and that's the beauty about opening up consciousness, because then you start pulling to you like all of you great souls, and then we start becoming one. Tomorrow I'm going to try to come in and do a piece on spirituality here, and just what is spirituality for those that are maybe afraid of that word, or what does that really mean. And so I want to open those doors too, because the door of spirituality is really opening a door that's unlimited. In other words, we open little doors as we grow, and we look over here, here's natural health, and we look over here, and here's the law and stuff, and we look over here, and here's all types of things going on, and then we open a bigger door, and we find, ooh, we have interplanetary beings around. I did a radio show for a year, I think I told you, with a Native American, and we talked to some very interesting people. I love the Hobies, but we were talking to this gentleman up in Mount Washington, and his website and his books are very fascinating about interplanetary visitors. I think Deepak was up there. So there's a lot going on that sometimes we're fearful of, or we don't we kind of shut off from, or we just don't think about it. But I think that you're going to find that when you open up the Word of God, that it's limitless almost. It's even creation is so huge, and our little mind seems to have blocked our ego, has kind of blocked off some comprehension of the vastness of things. I always consider, like Star Wars, that bar in Star Wars where you had beings from all different walks of life, and I think you're going to see that coming soon. There's too much about that, I think. And an astronaut, I forget his name, just came out and was talking about the things that he's seen. And I think that it's important. And then didn't someone like, I don't know if it's the people that discovered the Atocha or whatever, they discovered a metal round disc in the ocean. So a lot of neat things. I don't know. I think one always has to be with the self and protective, and then view life from a much broader perspective, which is consciousness. And so we're just going to play and have fun and open some doors. And for those that don't freak out, I actually don't care about creation at all. Whatever's out there, it's just nice to know about it. And but you don't take it in, because you always have to be the stability of the self. And this is for channeling. We'll get into the spiritual talking about channeling and opening yourself up when you're, that's not a good thing. You just don't need to open yourself up to other beings and other things. It's kind of, we do that here in marriages and relationships. Instead of maintaining our individuality and the other person maintaining their individuality, it makes for the greatest experiences. But we do that soul merging. Yeah, this comment, Magic Hummingbird, ooh, what a good name. MSM sulfur, my God, I tell you what, the blessing has been the iridology. I can tell you that I take my hat off to that surgeon that discovered it. And that's another area, there's a lot of, when you're dealing on this planet, even in practitioners, you have a lot of states of consciousness. So that there's good, there's bad, there's so-sos, there's all levels. I like the best of the best in every field, whether it's Qigong masters or chiropractics. I like an individual that's expand their abilities, that looks at all these different areas. A chiropractor should always know kinesiology. That would just fit into chiropractics. And then they can expand into detoxification and understand the lymph system more and the acids more and why you see the muscles pull the skeletal system out. And you just start expanding your ability to know. And the same thing with massage therapists. Understand what we're talking about here, and you understand the reality of what you're doing, and then you don't massage to the heart, you massage more toward the kidneys, even though you can't force the kidneys to filter the lymph system. But at the same time, you can tell your clients just what they need to do to help do that while you're working with them, giving them some relief. So there's all kinds of neat things, but we have to interconnect to the core. Naturopathy, true naturopathy, not naturopathic medicine, true naturopathy added with botanical medicine, changing that around like we've done here. You've got the core healing of everything. Everything needs to spring out of this core healing, because this core healing is how the body works, is how things are in chemistry, and is how things are in physics. There's nothing, I mean, you can expand on that core, but the problem with bringing the mind too much into the core is that you'll start adding MSM. Oh, look, they say this is really, really good. Is it really? As far as I know, very little with sulfur has to do with the regeneration of tissue. If so, it's a trace, because sulfur is such an acid gas, such an irritant, in my opinion, but it does help symptoms. The problem is, in the iris work, we see sulfur in so many people, and sulfur is a major fungal aphrodisiac. People that have a lot of sulfur, you're going to have a lot of candida or fungal problems in your body. And I mean, this is stuff like the nectar of the gods. This makes fungus procreate at 1,000,000 times its rate. I mean, sulfur's bad. I spent 40 years looking at this, and I can tell you, I've showed a lot of medical doctors, and they're going, wow, they see it too. So this is just hype. That's why I don't get into products. I don't get into isolation things. If we're going to look at anything, look at the botanicals. Why are we messing with chemistry? We're messing with chemistry because we don't know how to cure. We don't know how to heal. We've lost our simplicity, our soul view, and got into the intellectualism of it all. So you got to detox the sulfur out of you for sure. And remember, I said the other day, now there's a big company that sells these high-end makeups right on TV saying sulfur-free. Well, wait a minute. I thought sulfur was good for you. See what I'm saying? This is why I don't get into things. I don't get into machines. I don't get into things. I don't get into altering chemistry, because down the road, there's a warning, or there's someone says, whoa, no, whoops, we found that. And I don't want to go there with anybody. I don't want to be responsible in any way for harm of any of my clients whatsoever. It's just a little thing I have here. Do no harm. Question was about tonsil stones. Lesson. Yeah, just detox. Tonsil stones is like any other stones. They'll start dissolving. That's clogged lymph. That's what happens. That's a good example of anionic fluid when you get stones. That fluid's coagulate in an acid medium. And it's just showing you that your lymph is backed up and getting stagnant. So you're getting stones. And that's common. It's kind of a lot of people have them. Nasty, aren't they? Because that's the lymph system. That's the sewage department. And these are proteins a lot, so you can tell the putrefaction of those stones.